Cosplay, take your time on it. Shop around for sales. If you are doing a thrift store cosplay, you can look around at several different thrift stores. You might not find everything on your first run at the thrift store. You might need to wait, I don't know, a month and a half until they get new stuff in, because you need blue jeans. No, everyone has blue jeans. What color? What's the color nobody would have?
Yellow.
Orange. Yellow. Yellow. We need yellow pants for some reason. Thrift store just doesn't have yellow pants. Either you learn how to dye fabric, or you wait until the thrift store has something valuable. And that's also the same thing with the Joann's coupons. Is you get like one Joann's coupon a month. That's like a 40% off thing. And so if you're making your costume over a span of several months, you got several coupons to use on it. If you're making your costume in 2 weeks, which I know some of my friends do, this is usually pretty funny because it ends up finishing in the hotel room. You know, the 2-week costume makers held together with duct tape and hot glue and a whole lot of awesome. I mean, I'm not going to deny it if they're awesome, but oh my god. How that works, I don't know. Yeah. So you take your time and look for sales, and also when you're taking your time making your costume, you're less likely to mess up on it. So, because when you mess up, not only have you wasted materials, you wasted your own time. And if your time is worth money to you, like you could have been out working or out with your friends having fun, you just spent all your time making a sailboat. And yeah, that's not cool. And also taking your time includes shopping around if you are commissioning somebody. If you're thinking of commissioning somebody to work for you, I didn't introduce myself correctly. I am a professional seamstress. I work at recollections.biz. That's online, obviously. If you cannot tell, that's a web address. We are located in Hawks, Michigan. We have a turnaround time of, I want to say it's like 3 weeks. I don't know. I just sew things. I don't ship things. But I'm a professional person that you commission for whatever. And you need to look at the site and see what kind of things you make, and you can also look and see if you like the quality that we make. Not every person is going to make the same thing the same way. So if you're going on eBay to buy your Naruto costume, one seller might have a really nice Naruto costume for $80, one might have a pretty flimsy one for like $60, and you just look and weigh your options. Maybe the $80 one will go on sale. You just look and compare, because if you spent $60 on a costume that's going to fall apart, your $60 just fell apart, man. I mean, that's not cool. So you look around and you look at the portfolios. It's the same thing with all Etsy sellers, is look for customer reviews. There's a lot of people who commission will ask for at least half the money up front. It's not uncommon to ask for all the money up front, because a lot of the time your customer will run away on you and be like, I changed my mind, I want my money back. And you're like, I have this whole thing made, and nobody to pay me for it. And then that's all their time and material on for it. So very few people are running a scam, but just look for customer reviews if you're paranoid. So other ways that you can save money if you are going to make your own costume is, the kindest way to put this is become a hoarder. Like those newspapers might be useful for like paper mache or something. Those cereal boxes, cardboard is amazing stuff. The fabric scraps, like these are fabric scraps from my boyfriend's communist cake, and those some black fill scraps I had lying around, and I made my whole jacket out of that, so I didn't need to spend any money on my jacket. It's save things that you think could be useful. And this does also go with the take your time thing, because you don't know if these things are going to be useful in the future. You might just have this giant bag of stuff, about yay big, staring at you in the corner of your room, and your mom's like, throw that out. And you're like, I need it. She's like, for what? I don't know yet. But if you have that giant bag of stuff that you acquired for free and you suddenly made it useful, that's material that you do not need to buy. Another thing that I think I might have already covered is pick one costume that you're going to rewear again and again. There is no shame in loving your character. Like, I just packed Matt from Digimon to go to this convention, and I just realized that I've had this costume since 2010. I go to about 2 conventions a year, and I bring him to most of them. And just on random like cosplay meetup days, if I feel like wearing a wig and being somebody who's not myself, I usually wear him. So this costume has gotten more wear than I can think of. And there's no shame in that. And because I'm re-wearing it, not making anything new for the most part, that's not costing me any money. Because you see all these cosplayers online that have like 20 different costumes. You know what I mean. The ones online, like Jessica Meagri or Yaya Han, and I'm just naming the pinups because everyone knows the pinups. But they have like all these dozens of costumes most people don't do. It's very expensive. It's too much. I mean, if I had the money to do that, I would, but but if you are one of the people doing a lot of different outfits, the hoarding thing helps a lot. Like your fabric scraps, you will do things with your fabric scraps you never knew you could do with fabric scraps. And also if you're doing several different costumes, a versatile pair of shoes is really useful. I'm not wearing my versatile shoes at the moment, they're just from my closet. If you have things in your closet that work for your outfit, that's great. No shame. No shame. Like my character is supposed to be wearing solid black pants and Doc Martens, black Doc Martens. I have no solid black pants, and I was very disappointed in my inner goth child in that I have no solid black pants. So these go with my outfit. These are good enough. Nobody is gonna nitpick on your costume and be like, you know, well, you're wearing brown shoes and you should have black shoes. No one does that, and if they do that, they're mean. Doesn't matter. But like, you know, if you're supposed to be wearing combat boots and you're wearing high heels, there's an issue. So a good versatile pair of shoes is great. I usually like black or brown boots because most of my characters are action-oriented and they're not the pretty Sailor Moon girls. But I like the pretty Sailor Moon girls, so I'm not hating on them. If you do pretty Sailor Moon girls, you should probably get a cute pair of sandals or something. They go with everything. So yeah, footwear is important, and if you are really good at sewing, you can make boot covers. I am a professional seamstress, and I hate making boot covers. Like, to me, they're the devil, but they are a really good way to save money if you're good at them. If you can make them look good, that is. Because if you're making something that doesn't look very good, that's not useful. So, now I'm going to move on to wigs, because wigs are the most important part of your cosplay. I'm not saying you should do a cosplay just with a wig, but when people see you, they tend to look at your face first. And since it's very hard to change your face, it's pretty easy to change your hair. I mean, you just kind of wrap it up and put it in a wig cap and you go. And I've got a lot of hair. My hair is really thick and it's about down to here. I'm not joking. If I can wrap my hair up in a wig cap, you can probably too. So there's no excuse. Judging. No, I'm not judging you. If you don't want to wear a wig, I don't care. But general rules for buying wigs. eBay is not a bad place. I love my eBay. eBay, I usually don't go cheaper than $15 for short wigs though, because every once in a while you're going to get a wig that's really thin in the back. I kind of had on. But like back here, they'll just be showing wefts. And especially if you're going in a lighter color, your wefts are more likely to show. If you're going for a dark color like black, your wefts are much less likely to show. But if you're going to spike it, I'd, double check. And when you're buying on eBay, make sure it shows the front and the back of the head, just because in case it will show if it's thin in the back. That being said, if you are spiking wigs, sometimes you can buy 2 wigs of the same cheap wig, short wig on eBay, and put them together. And then there's a bunch of tutorials of how to take a wig apart and put it into a second wig. So I'm not going to tell you how to do that. But if you got 2 short, cheap wigs for like $13, and they're both a little bit bald, but you stick them together, you can spike it into like a Naruto haircut. Then he's all up, and your weft it's going to be thick enough to stay up there. So